It may surprise you that a country which you are taught to regard as conservative should have chosen a woman to be its representative and ambassador. But if you read aright the whole history of Indian civilization, you will realize that woman has been the very pivot of its culture, of it all its inspiration, and of all the embassies of peace that have gone abroad for many centuries to the uttermost parts of the world.
Sarojini Naidu's contributions made an immense difference for women in a country where they were simply caretakers and nurturers. We all know her as the Nightingale of India, but she was also a poet, a politician, a women's rights activist, a leading figure in the Indian independence struggle, and India's first female governor. Throughout her life, she advocated for civil rights and women's empowerment. Sarojini Naidu was born on February 13, 1879 in Hyderabad to Agorna Chattopadhyay and Barda Sundari Devi. Her father was the founder and the administrator of Hyderabad College. Sarojini married Govinda Rajulu Naidu at the age of 19 and had 5 children, including her daughter Padmaja, who herself was a voice in the Indian freedom movement and later went on to become the governor of West Bengal. Sarojini Naidu entered into the public realm first as a poet. As a child, Sarojini was a very bright student. She began writing around the age of 12 and she was proficient in 5 languages: Hindi, English, Persian, Urdu, Telugu and Bengali. In 1905, her first collection of poems were published under the title The Golden Threshold. Later, her poem collections The Bird of Time and The Broken Wings were also published. Both of these attracted a wide readership in India and England. She is known for her lyrical and musical nature of writings, using many rhymes and meters filled with rich imagery. This earned her the title Nightingale of India or Bharat Kokila. Like other women writers of the era, Naidu focused on the plight of women in an orthodox patriarchal society. Not only did she enrich Indian English poetry through her literary achievements, but also contributed immensely to the Indian freedom struggle. Being a great orator, Sarojini Naidu travelled throughout India to deliver speeches on nationalism, women empowerment and social welfare. She was one of the first women to participate in India's struggle for independence from the British. She joined politics after the partition of Bengal by Lord Curzon, Viceroy of India in 1905. She met Gopal Krishna Gokhale, through whom she came into contact with several prominent faces of India's freedom struggle, including Mahatma Gandhi, Jawaharlal Nehru, Rabindranath Tagore and Annie Besant. She was urged by Gokhale to use her intellect for the cause, and she dedicated herself to politics and the Indian freedom movement, taking a respite from writing. In 1916, she fought against the British for the rights of farmers in Chambaran, Bihar, who were forced to grow indigo instead of the food crops that were required for their survival. In 1925, she joined the Congress Party and presided over the annual INC session and was the second female president of the same after Annie Besant. In 1931, she also participated in the Roundtable Conference with Mahatma Gandhi and Madan Mohan Malviya. One of the major aspects of Sarojini Naidu's role in India's freedom struggle was during Salt Satyagraha, where she participated with many women protesters at Darshana Salt Works in Gujarat. She was also a leading freedom fighter in the civil disobedience movement, where she was jailed along with many other leaders, and during the Quit India movement. Did you know Sarojini Naidu was the first female governor of India? She also played an important role in the women's rights struggle in India, as she helped shape the Women's Indian Association in 1917 with Annie Besant and others. The association sought equal rights, including the right to vote and represent. She presented the need to include more women in Congress and the freedom struggle. She was awarded the Kesari Hind Medal by the British government for her passionate work during the plague epidemic in India. She is also regarded as the first person to hoist the Indian flag on an international platform in the United States of America and England. Despite being imprisoned several times, she fought until her last breath. She passed away on March 2, 1949, and until her death, she served her role as the governor of United Provinces in Agra and Oudh. She is known as one of India's feminist luminaries, and her birth anniversary on 13th February is celebrated throughout India as National Women's Day to honor her legacy. She was also memorialized in the Golden Threshold, which was an off-campus annex of the University of Hyderabad, named after her first collection of poetry. In 1990, asteroid 5647 Sarojini Naidu was discovered by Eleanor Hillin at Palomar Observatory. It was named in her memory. Sarojini Naidu still serves as an inspiration for all generations of women. The issues she voiced and the causes she fought for remain important even in contemporary times, and her treasured literary legacy will always make us remember her and drive us towards fearlessness, passion, and vigor.